Good morning. It is Monday morning, meaning it's time for some Motivational Monday. My name is Pastor Christopher Donnell, pastor here at Urbana UMC. So glad you're joining with us today. Hopefully you had an awesome weekend and you were able to worship, rest, reflect, and reset for the week ahead. You ever heard the saying, when life hands you lemons? Well, I remember our honeymoon, Beck and I's honeymoon, and it's been 16 years ago. And we got to go to Acapulco, Mexico. And I had never seen the Pacific Ocean. It was a big trip for me, and it was a long flight. I'd never been that far away from home, and it was a brand new culture. I'd never been out of the country. So lots of new experiences, and I remember we did a lot of new things. We tried a lot of different food and saw a lot of different things, and one of the foods I tried was something called ceviche. And if you've never heard of ceviche, it's a cup of raw fish and like pico de gallo and some fresh cilantro, and you basically take all that stuff and then you squeeze lemons over it, and the acidity in it actually changes the flavor and texture of the fish. It technically cooks it with the acidity in there, and it was delicious. I loved it. It was a new experience for me, but it was different than maybe something really sweet. When you think of lemons, when life hands you lemons, hopefully you get lemonade, but sometimes the hard truth is when life hands us lemons, we don't always get to add sugar. Sometimes we just have to use them as they are. And Jesus was honest about this with us in John 16:33. He said, in this world you will have trouble. You will. It's not a if, maybe, sometimes. No, he says we will have trouble. But he says, but take heart. I have overcome the world. Sometimes seasons in our life are pretty sour. They sting the tongue. They are rough. They're challenging. They can be hard to swallow. But I believe every season serves a purpose for us. You know, just as the acid in lemons transform that raw fish into something new, God can use that sour moment, that rough moment in our life with our challenges to shape and refine and prepare us. And hopefully in those moments we remember that we can come to Jesus and even remember the words of something like this from the psalmist in Psalm 121, 1 and 2. I lift my eyes up to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the maker of heaven and earth. Now, sometimes God does turn those lemons into sweet lemonade. There are these tough moments that turn out so beautiful afterwards, but sometimes we just have to use what we have to be tested, to reveal something in us. I think tests do reveal where our help comes from. I don't know if every hard season I would say, I lift my eyes up to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord of heaven, the maker of earth and heaven. I don't know if I always say that. But it is a reality check that we will have those moments, and it's a reminder that we should seek the Lord for our help in every season. Sometimes he can use those acidic, tough moments for their sharpness to bring out something hidden and good. But either way, whether it's for lemonade or ceviche, we can always trust him with the recipe. So I pray that as you reflect this week, if you've been handed some lemons, that you would not always just seek to make lemonade, but you would sometimes just use them to reveal more about who you are and who God is. So I pray that you have a great week. Use the lemons. Bye.